the meaning on Cat Nation. Get into the moment, share your inner feeling, make a conversation on Cat Nation. Let's talk Cat Nation across the nation. Come on, let's talk, let's talk. I wanna hear you talk. Your voice, my voice, their voices. Let's tell it to Cat Nation. Just don't be shy to share it. I want them all to hear it. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me about your feelings. Figure out the meaning on Cat Nation. Get into the moment. Share your inner feelings. Make a conversation on Cat Nation. 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 Cat Nation.
Thank you for tuning in to Cat Nation. Let's talk. It's 1:11 a.m. in California. It's probably 1:11 where you at. Might be 2:11, but I always start the show off with a joke. This morning joke is there's these two brothers and they were bad as ever. They always getting stuff. They always doing stuff, and their mama just couldn't handle them. Their mama took them to the pastor at the church and said, "Can you talk to my boys?" So he was talking to him one at a time, so he got the first brother and he was like questioning him, talking about, "Son, where's God?" And the little boy didn't know what to say. And he asked him again, he said, "Where is God?" And the little boy said, he said, "Where?" And the third time he's like, "Where is God?" And the little boy ran out the church, took off running. He ran home, he got to his brother, he was like, "Brother, God is missing, and they think we did it." You heard me, Catv 101. Let's make it do what it do what it do.
That's a bad joke.
Hey, Cat, unmute yourself.
I like it, but I love it though. It coming from you.
Unmute yourself, Dr. Cat.
My bad, y'all. I was on mute. I always start off with a joke. I don't know if y'all like the joke or not. Y'all probably heard the joke already, but the little boy was confused. He kept asking, "Where is God? Where is God?" Poor little boy didn't know. He thought they was accusing him of taking God. You heard? Anyway, guys, today's show, Mr. Avery, take it. Bam.
Good afternoon. I'm coming y'all from Houston, so good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be on the Cat Network. My name is Avery Ayers. I'm a write-in Republican candidate here in Houston, Texas for Congressional District 38. Early voting just started here in Texas. Houston, we had over 150,000 people cast a vote on Monday, October 21st. So with that being said, we are running into this election and it's going to be a good, favorable outcome election. And I just tell everybody, get out there and vote. Cast your vote for whomever you choose to, as long as you go vote.
All right, Mr. Oliver, give us a little background on Mr. Avery there.
Okay, this is O4H in Houston, Texas, great city of the South, jewel of the South. And I'm proud to introduce to you information regarding Mr. Avery Ayers. Mr. Avery Ayers is a proud conservative dedicated to upholding the values that make our nation strong: personal responsibility, limited government, and the preservation of individual freedoms. Avery was raised in Houston, Texas, and attended Post Elementary, Dean Junior High, and Jersey Village Senior High. Mr. Avery is an honorable discharged U.S. Air Force veteran. Thank you for your service, sir. Having served his country faithfully for 7 years, both stateside and overseas. Mr. Avery Ayers knows firsthand the importance of second chances and the power of perseverance. After facing legal challenges earlier in life, Avery made a commitment to turning his life around and becoming a positive force in the community. Through hard work and determination, he has earned a bachelor's degree in business administration, a master's degree in business administration, both from the University of Phoenix, and an associate of applied science degree in paralegal, legal assistant studies from Houston Community College. His academic journey is a testament to his belief in the transformation of the power of education and the importance of never giving up. Avery Ayers has spent the last 4 years working as a paralegal for Kelly P. Joseph, an associate law firm, which specializes in criminal, family, and personal injury law. He understands the challenges faced by ordinary Americans and is passionate about his creating policies that support economic growth, protection of civil liberties, and the strengthening of our community. As a write-in, hold on a second here. As a write-in Republican candidate for U.S. Congressional District 38, Avery Ayers is committed to bringing fresh ideas and a new perspective to Congress. He believes that everyone deserves a second chance and that with hard work, dedication, and the right policies, we can all contribute to making America a beacon of hope and an opportunity for all. Avery Ayers is a devoted son, brother, uncle, friend, and veteran. Thank you again, sir. He is an active member of the community of believers in Christ Church and also attends Centro Christian de Vida Eterna regularly. He is proud to stand as a voice for the people of the Congressional District 38 and is ready to fight for the conservative principles that will guide our nation toward a brighter future. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Avery.
Thank you. Well read, I must say, well read. My journey has been one of uniqueness, but I never give up. When you give up, that's when you lose any hope that you have within yourself that God has given you. Like I said, I am an Air Force veteran. I am college educated. I went back to Houston Community College to reinvent myself during COVID. That's how I got my paralegal associate degree from Houston Community College. I grew up in a single mother household, my sister and I. We saw our father every now and then, but it didn't stop us from enjoying a decent quality of life because no household is perfect in America. We all have a little bit of dysfunction, but we keep on persevering. With me running for this seat here in Houston, the individual that I'm running against, my opponent, Wesley P. Hunt, is considered an absentee congressman. Number two, he does not live in the district. And number three, he really does not know what's going on in the district. I, on the other hand, have grown up in the Harris County, Cypress area of the Congressional District 38. So I've seen the changes and I see the possibilities within the community of what can be achieved. Do I keep on there?
So what made you want to go into to run, Avery?
Okay. Well, it's not my foray into running my first time. When I first set out on this journey back in 2008, one of the ways of getting on the ballot as an independent candidate, you had to get petitions signed. And I think Cat knew I was running for office, and I explained to him how it worked. But it's every time I would turn in the petitions to the Secretary of State election department, they always came back with 3 statements. You don't have enough. We couldn't read the signatures. And we can't read some of the voter registration numbers on here. So that was their way of keeping me off the ballot.
Absolutely.
The first time, okay.
Right.
So I didn't understand. I was still green to understanding how the system works. So when I ran again for the U.S. Senate, they did the same thing to me, and I took them to court. I took them to court, and the judge heard both sides, and he was just like, well, you know what? Why don't y'all discuss this, and I'm just going to dismiss the case and be done with it. So I left alone,
Excuse me.
went on, educated myself and kept it moving. Finally, but I've always been an independent-minded person. But this time, I knew they were not going to let me be on the ballot this time. So God made it possible, and I'm saying this, God made it possible for me to get on the ballot this time. I paid the filing fee to be on the ballot as a write-in Republican candidate. And when I showed up at the election department in Austin, they were under the impression that I was going to give them my candidacy application and 200, maybe 500 signatures, but I didn't. When I gave them the cashier's check, they looked at it. They looked at it like, whoa. We have no choice but to put him on the ballot now.
Right.
Okay? And the look on their faces was like, we're not used to this. We're not used to this unless it's one of their Democrat or Republican candidates that's coming from a large party. Then they have no problem with it. But because I was the unknown candidate doing this, phone calls went out. Even before I left the Secretary of State's office, they were calling the Democrats and the Republicans in Houston, Harris County, letting them know, hey, he's on the ballot and we got problems. We got big problems. Okay? Because once I got back to Houston, I started putting my campaign together. Website, campaign marketing material, t-shirts, and everything. Okay? And when I started campaigning, a lot of people would look at me like, where are you coming from? Why are you here? We already have somebody in the area running for that seat. And so I kind of looked at it and was like, well, I'm running anyway, because perseverance. They will throw everything but the kitchen sink at you to get you out of this race.
Absolutely. They threw the sink at you when you first got your first no. When you first got the first 3 statements that, okay, we don't have this, we don't have that, we don't have that. So right there should have said there was a red light. This is going to be a fight, but I'm not going to stop.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop.
Avery,
yes, sir.
Avery, let me redirect. The information that you're giving us is great, but the question was, why are you running?
The reason why I'm running,
we know what they did to you.
Correct.
And we know why they did it to you, and we're in full agreement on all of that. But very quickly, can you tell us why Avery wanted to run this time? What do you think you can do that the others aren't doing? Now, I know it's not a pie in the sky thing for you, and I know that you're focused and you got a purpose. I've done the same thing in a political race. I've been right where you are. I mean, the same scenario, okay? So can you quickly tell us why Avery Ayers is running right now?
Yes, sir. I'm running because we don't have a voice in our community. District 38 is without a voice. It's without leadership. There's a void. That's why I ran. That's why I'm running, because the constituents don't even know who's representing us in Congress. The incumbent does not even come into the community. And I'm fed up with that.
Avery, who did you say the incumbent was?
Wesley P. Hunt.
Wesley Peanut. Okay, go ahead, sir. Continue.
And so when I started walking through my community and other communities within District 38, they would always ask me, well, who's the incumbent? Who's the incumbent? Who's the incumbent? When you knock on a few doors, several doors, and you get the same question, I start asking the same question. Where is he? What is he doing? We had 3 major weather events in Houston, May, June, and July. When they hit, we were all in the dark for at least 4 to 5 days. Never seen him. Never seen him come out and say, do y'all need anything? No press conference, no, we're putting bottled waters out here for you. We got generators coming. Nothing. I didn't see anything. But I'm sitting in my house in the dark. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. So after that 3rd time, that's when I start questioning, where is he? What is he doing? Okay? How do we get in touch with this man? And when you call his office, nobody picks up those phones. They ring or they tell you to leave a voice message. You send an email, nobody responds to the emails unless they want to. I'm gonna put it like that. Unless they choose to inform you of what's going on. Well, we're gonna have this event, or we're gonna have this event. No, let's answer these questions. We sat in the dark on 3 different occasions in this community. Where was he? What was Congressman Hunt? So that's why I choose to run. That's why I'm in it to the end.
Do you have so you're write-in candidate, and I might say that you're that I can sense that you're a serious guy. Can you tell me what would be different with Avery Ayers than with the incumbent right now? What would you be interjecting in Congress? What would you suggest to Congress as a congressman? What would you introduce to Congress as a congressman? What would you introduce to them that would be different than what's happening now and that would benefit us better moving forward?
Number 1, I don't get along to go along, first of all. Number 2, my district deserves a representative who stands for freedom, security, and opportunity. Number 2, it's time to revamp our educational system. That's what I would bring to Congress. It's time to revamp our education system because education is the Super Bowl of the planet. Secondly, with education comes new and creative job opportunities. One of the things I want to bring to the district is space-based economy, tourism, manufacturing, new spacesuit design. It's time that we leap into space like we're supposed to. Fourthly, it gives our workforce something different to start working on. Instead of the same old small business jobs, which is the backbone of America, but it's time for us to upgrade as we go into the second half of the 21st century.
How would you assist someone to upgrade from the small business communities? How would you put that up?
But number 1, as I stated, education. Number 2, small businesses would have to get on board with the change in technology. That's upgrading. And then number 3, they would have to be open-minded to the possibilities that, hey, we can do this. We can bring space-based industries into District 38. It's not impossible. You just have to open your mind and see the possibility of what can be achieved when we work together, especially our small businesses.
Okay, you talked about making changes with education. Can you be more specific? What things bother you? What things do you think that you can affect a change? And I've heard them talk about, the fact that education is basically controlled on a state level. So I want to know how that would work. What could you do? What would you do? Give us your idea on changing education.
Okay. Number 1, we're still working on a 1940s model when it comes to education. Math, arithmetic, reading, those are still required. But if you're going to propel us into the second half of the 21st century, education is going to have to be encouraged, so to speak. Parents are going to have to get involved. Secondly, our kindergartens are going to start thinking like second graders. Our first graders have to come in thinking like third graders, and so forth and so forth. Thirdly, I need fathers back in the game when it comes to education. We've got to have our fathers back in the education system because we have to encourage our young folks to understand that their education is all you got. It can never be taken away from you. And if you're going to be working in space, you've got to have this education. No more playing around. We play around in our educational system too much. That's why we're behind. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for interjecting, but I'm 70 plus years old, so I have to get it out when I can.
Yeah, get it right, because
I don't mean to be abrasive or interrupted.
No.
You're speaking very well, sir. What are your thoughts on school vouchers, and how could the federal government play a role in the education where it would directly affect the quality of education in your district?
Well, number one, I'm not for vouchers. Number two, the federal government needs to stay out the way. That's the problem right there. And then number three, the states, especially Texas, is sitting on $40 billion. Okay. And then fourthly, I'm old enough to remember when they got us to vote on the lottery here in Texas, and they said 20% of the lottery would go towards the educational system. Where's that money? Fourthly, we've been lied to. So in order for our education system to get a boost, okay, we're going to have to start paying our teachers as if they're NFL players. We're going to have 2 teachers in a classroom, a primary and a secondary. And don't tell me we don't have the money. We got the money. These kids need to learn, and they need people that's educated and being paid to really educate these people, our youth of tomorrow. So,
okay, so when you say educate the kids, here is my thing with the education and the teachers, and you want 2 teachers in the classroom. What are we teaching them? Because right now you're not teaching them 1 and 1 is 2. You teaching them about an FCAT or whatever test it takes to graduate, but they know absolutely nothing. So why are we not going to go with the basic, so that once you learn the basic, you could get everything else? How would you make this adjustment? How would you change that? Because I'm lost right there, Avery.
Okay. First thing first, my teachers. Yes, I want 2 teachers in the classroom because not every student learns this. Not every student can keep up with the rest of it. That's
Correct.
Primary. Yeah, the primary and secondary. Secondly, my teachers will be re-educated. Okay, they'll be re-educated. This is the curriculum we're going to start teaching. We're not going to start teaching them to take tests. We're going to start teaching them to think.
Right.
That's the problem. Nobody's thinking. And the last 3 generations do not know how to think, and that's awful. But we as a society will pay for that down the road if we don't make some changes in our educational system.
Avery, the current candidate, Republican candidate for the U.S. presidency, has said that they would do away with the U.S. Department of Education. Correct. So, do you go along with that? And if so, how could you affect education when there's no department? Would that mean like you either do it or we don't give you money, right, or you have to do it in order to get money? Would that money go to the state, or would that money go directly to the districts? I know that was a 3-part question.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to answer all 3 of them. First of all, the Department of Education came in being under Jimmy Carter, 1978. Okay, education was there for everybody. You didn't pay for it. Remember, your parents saved up if you wanted to go to college. I think we're all young enough to realize that if you wanted to go to college, you had to save and work for it. After the 80s, the banks and the credit card companies got involved in the educational system. This is what robbed us of our potential. But if he chooses to do away with the Department of Education, then the states will get that money to educate and put our young people through school and through college, or vocational or technical. That money will still be there for the states to regulate it, which I think is more appropriate because it's boots on the ground. You can see exactly what's going on. Because, matter of fact, I have family in Georgia. And in Georgia, if you maintain a C average, then you can go to the state college, associate college, and get your associate degree. So we have to look at the Department of Education and really see where is most of the money going? That's the question nobody's asking. We got billions and billions, no, trillions of dollars going out the education office to universities and colleges, and we have no idea what's going on. So at the state level, then the state would be more accustomed to saying, okay, we know we gave this university money, we gave this community college money. What are y'all doing with this money? What are you turning out the best and brightest that America needs, or are you just giving out checks and these kids are just sitting in class looking on their cell phone and not performing? So we
So
don't know
what answer are you getting though? What answer are you getting to that question where the money is going? Because we can ask the question where the money going and nobody's telling us where the money going, and our children still not learning.
Well, that's the key. But if you know where the money's going at the state level and you have your teachers there, you've retrained your educational staff to start teaching, then you see where the dollars are going, as opposed to the Department of Education, which is a government agency, and that we have no accountability. We don't. When the last time you seen the Department of Education be audited? Raise your hand. I haven't. Okay, so
But
yes,
isn't it true that the GSA audits all federal departments on an annual basis?
I'm gonna say this, sir. I'm gonna say this. If you can find when the last time the GSA audited the Department of Education, I would like to know.
If you could tell me, I would like to look.
Right. I don't know if they have. I don't know if they didn't. But
you're making a very good point. If they haven't been audited,
correct.
Can I ask a follow-up question? This question is on the premises of there not being a U.S. Department of Education. We talked about having two teachers in each classroom, a primary and a secondary. Where, or I guess the question would be even more so, how would you control that when you've lost the connection to control them? You don't have the Department of Education no more. So what does that become something that the individual Congress people do? Who would be the watchdog? That's what I'm asking.
Okay. Before the Department of Education came into being, what were we doing before? We didn't have a Department of Education before 1978. We just had parents and colleges, okay, and students. Am I right or wrong? Parents watched the students go to college. They knew where their dollars were going, okay? They knew when that child graduated with that college degree, okay, we got an educated youth that's graduated from college. So before the Department of Education got in, once again, when you put the government in the business, we have no idea what's going on. We're not getting educated like we're supposed to. So
even though we're getting out of it and giving it to the state, maybe I need to rephrase my question again. My question is, who would be the watchdog? We've gotten rid of the Department of Education. We're giving the money to the states, as you said. The accountability is what I'm talking about. Where would the accountability be if there's no U.S. Department of Education to answer to? Who would be watching over those funds and doing exactly what you said? You know, if they're not doing the right thing, don't fund them. If they are doing the right thing, you know, do fund them. And you follow what I'm saying? I'm still asking, how do we? I agree with you on monitoring the money. I agree with you on holding them accountable, but I'm asking, where and how is that accountability being done?
Would you establish a whole department of that yourself? You know, how would you do that?
No, what we would do as a congressman, if the Department of Education was abolished, then the states would set up their own educational system and be connected to their own individual university and colleges, vocational and technical schools in their respective states. That would be boots on the ground. It would be more, They would be more of a watchdog at the state level with this kind of accountability, watching them, because now the state Senate and the state legislature is going to be watching this. If they establish their own Department of Education within Texas, it would have some oversight, some real oversight.
Okay, right now in Texas, in Houston, one of the largest public school systems in the country, is currently being ran by the state.
Right.
So I guess if I were a Democrat, I would ask, with that already happening, and the parents, see, the state took away the parents' rights to oversee the educational system in HIS.
HISD.
They gave them some people, I'm walking on I'm walking on leaves and branches right now. They gave them some people that probably don't live within the school district that they're governing.
Right.
So
let me interject.
Believe me, I'm with you so far. Get rid of the Department of Education, give the money to the state, but I still want to know, how can we
how are you gonna,
that the federal government is making sure that the state does the right thing? Because what they're doing in Houston right now, personal opinion,
correct.
I think that's unconstitutional to unseat the people that the people voted on to the Board of Education, and to give them a Board of Education, and to give them a governor over their district. I know I threw a lot at you, bro, but you can understand what concerns someone would have that has children in HISD.
Okay, time out. Colin say time out.
Time out. First of all, great show, y'all. Avery, I didn't mean to put you under the fire like that, but this Mr. Oliver done ran for office before. Miss Linda, she has her own talk show. Just last week, they was talking about voting and all that stuff, So I brought in two heavy hitters for you, man.
That's good.
Let me take a little pressure off of y'all. It's time to pay some bills. This is just my third show. So to pay the bills, I look like I got to do my own little stuff. And I got another joke for y'all. You understand? I do stuff my way. Ponder on them questions, because the second half they coming in like Tyson back in the days, bro. They about to hit you, bro. So you better get ready.
I like a lot of what you're saying, Avery. I hope you didn't misunderstand me. Adversary, but I was just speaking for everybody. But time out. Cat, pay some commercials.
Yo, good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Cat Nation. Let's talk. It's 11:11 a.m. in California, probably 1:11 where you at, maybe 2:11. It might be night, it might be day when you watch this, I don't know. But anyway, I always start off with a joke. Today's joke is short and sweet, and I'm sure you've heard it before, but it is what it is. There's this minister, and he was driving along, sipping on a little something, and he heard, woo, woo, woo. The police stopped him, pulled him over. Hey, man, license and insurance. The minister was like, here you go. He was like, what you got over there in that cup? The minister was like, man, that's water. The police officer was like, let me see that cup. He took the cup, and he sniffed it. He's like, man, this looks like wine to me. And the minister was like, oh, what would you know? Oh, Lord Jesus, what do you know? Jesus did it again. He done turned water into wine. You heard me?
Ministers got to be sharp. You heard me? Water in the wine.
Jesus did it again.
He did it again,
guys. Yeah. So I had to lighten the blow a little bit. Like I said, I do stuff differently. You understand? They about to come in now. Come on in. Tyson back in the ring. What you got for me?
Can I answer the HISD question?
Yeah.
Okay. HISD, number one, is not in my district. But number two, it's a school district, it's large, that needs help. And you're right. They did elect the school board, ISD. Mr. Miles is running it. And I have no say on it. Okay. I know one thing. He did ask for a $4.4 billion bond that's on the ballot. And I don't know what the people at HISD school district going to do. I don't know if they're going to vote on it or not. But You know, that is a school system that needs oversight. Texas Educational Agency came in and it didn't fare too well, you know, but it's wobbling. It's trying to get back on its legs. And I'm looking for a favorable outcome in that school district because parents are the guardians of their children's education and they have to get involved. You just can't.
That's so true.
You just cannot send your little kindergarten or 12th grade out the door with no, hey, you go to school, I expect you to learn, you know, do what you got to do, don't have them call. Those days are gone now. They got cell phones. So here in Texas, one of the things that they're getting ready to do is start taking cell phones out of the school, period. Because as you stated earlier, ma'am, what are they learning? You know, they just learn the test. And we have to get back to the old way of learning. I'm sorry, parents have to get back involved, especially in HISD. And
well, that's not just HISD. That's the whole school. That's the whole where all parents do need to be involved in their children's education. However, you made a statement earlier about the fathers. Now, I'm with you with the fathers, but how do you make and bring fathers back to the game? Now, you stepped on my toe in because I'm like, how do we make that happen? Because I'm gonna be on that bus with you to bring fathers in to the game. How do you do that when you don't have, as you said, your father was not there, but it didn't stop you. But it doesn't necessarily be that I don't have a father because, well, I'm a woman and I'm gonna tell you, we on top of our kids. The
yes,
best
you are.
that we can be. You turned out to be a good young man without a father. So just the presence of a man, an uncle, a mentor such as yourself. Now, if you get some more programs that say you have an absent father, but here's some programs. Let me bring some strong men such as yourself and Mr. O to help with our young men or with our students, period. That's the program we have because you can't bring in a father who don't want to be there.
Correct. So what I recommend, I'm a mentor. Okay. I mentor 4 young men at Jersey Village High School. Okay. And this is what I did. I showed up at the high school earlier this month. They didn't know I was coming. I showed up. The principal is one of my classmates, so it's the assistant principal. And I know these kids because I know their parents. Okay. And they were cutting up in school. And as a man, I know what's down the road if you don't shape up, and I know how important education is. So I had the assistant principal call them into the office. Well, you know how young boys are, 14, 15, 16, they cussing and going on. So yeah, Robert Rousel. So when they walked in the principal office and saw me sitting there, it was like, uh-oh, Mr. Avery, Uncle Avery, how you doing? Yeah, I'm hearing all this coming in here. You know, and I know we on live TV, so I ain't gonna say what I said to them in front of the principal office, but they knew that I was very upset with them because I saw their school record. They cut in class, you know, being in each other's classroom clowning. But when I took them to the other room and had some words with them, then I could talk privately with them and let them understand I'm not playing with them. I'm not happy with their behavior because when you ask me to do something for you, and I go do it for you, and you know, and make you look good with the young ladies, and you're doing your homework, then I expect you to act like you got some sense in school. So, with that being said, the principal has not had to call me since. So, I would recommend that we have a Father's Day or a Mentor Day where men come in, you know, and bring something, bring belts, bring ties, bring dress shirts. You know, if they're in a high school. When we went to school, okay, we're all young folks here. We were prepped. We when we walked out the door of our house, we represent the family. Am I right or wrong?
We did.
Okay? So we knew how to dress. We knew we better not change clothes when we got to school.
Absolutely.
Okay. What you leave with, you come home with. All right. So,
but the key word on that, sir, is respect.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we had. That's what we don't have anymore. And that's why I'm saying I'm with you on the bus with not just the fathers, you know, I need you and Mr. O, I need Cat, I need Mo, I need all of these people together to make this work, because I am a single parent by choice. Now that's a whole nother show.
Yes, ma'am.
But I chose to be a single parent on my own because I didn't want the father at the time. But I had young men like you guys in that way. If I can't do some things, because you know I'm about knocking you out.
I know you're right.
My mom raised 7 boys. Luckily, my father was not in our house, but around our house. My father lived around the corner from us. And he and my mother maintained a relationship where all she had to do. Now, my mother was a very firm person too, not just loving and compassionate, but she, like you, sister, I hear it in your voice. She would reach back there and grab you in the back seat and pull you up between the console. Also, if you got out of line. But she always made sure, and she told us this, and I hope I'm okay with saying this. My mother told us, I can't teach you how to stand up and urinate.
Right.
I'm a woman.
Right.
But I can't teach you how to treat women.
Thank you.
I can show you that women can raise their kids, raise their sons to be good men. All they have to do is commit to bringing good men into their sons' lives while they're growing up.
Exactly.
So, Mr. Avery, what I'd like to hear or see you focus on, because man, boy, you got a good point there. I'm not telling you, it shouldn't be one day. It probably should be one day every week. It should be like who's the best dressed today? Every Thursday you wear your best, and you've been with your mentors, and you learning how to coordinate your clothes and how not to have them hanging off your butt. So what I want to hear from you and all the other candidates is we haven't gotten any real support for after school programs from the U.S. Department of Education. We haven't got no real after school programs from the coffers of people who win elections, who have money left in their coffers, who have the right to do what they want to do with it, and as long as it's beneficial in a nonprofit way. We haven't seen nobody support our after school programs. I myself am a mentor. I shared with the other people on the panel. I run an after school program. I do a Christmas program. I've served over 12,000 kids for Christmas and mentoring them, not telling them how to act, but showing them how to act. So can we get some commitment from you, sir, that you would be one of the first Congress people, even though you're not in my district, to influence the federal support of after school enrichment program?
Exactly. Yes, because as a mentor, it's very important. What I would do is get nonprofits and other NGOs involved in it, because if we got money to send out the country, we got money for after school program. Okay, if we got money to send out the country, we got money not only for after school programs, but we can also start feeding our after school program kids as well. So it's just too many excuses going on. You know, I do what I can for the kids I mentor. But if I'm elected, then I'm gonna do a little bit more. I'm gonna start doing a little bit more for them and start teaching them how life really is, so that they understand, hey, you have a responsibility not only to your family, but to yourself, your community, and to your country. And as a veteran, I talked to them about going to the military. You know, you don't have anything going on for you except these streets. You need to go in the military before you get in trouble. Because as a paralegal, I go down to the courthouse, criminal and civil courthouse. So I see what's going on down there. And I don't want the young men that I mentor to be down there in Orange. I don't. But I will give you a guarantee that if I am elected, then you will see more of me at the community level doing what I can. What happened, Kat? I can't hear you.
My bad, guys. I had it on mute. But here's the thing. I'm old too, and I done forgot my question about 3-4 times trying to get it in.
Oh my goodness! Welcome to the party.
You ain't know the old person is, man.
I'm down, Colin. Hey, but Mr. Avery, I got two.
Here's the thing. Hold on. I think I got it. If not, this was coming out. How can we help you win? Here's the thing. We all already know our politician is a politician. It's politics. They couldn't put a two words together. So we already know it's a who got the best mouthpiece. Let's forget all that right now. How can we help you win? What can Colin Thompson do to help you win? What can Mr. O do? What can Miss Linda do? She also has a podcast. Can she bring you on her podcast? How do we get to it? And another thing, I don't know how powerful you are, but how do we get African-American history? How do we get Black history in the schools? What's up, man? I went through high school and didn't hear one peep of Black history. I got heard about some man named Christopher Columbus discovered America. And I'm like, what?
No, I had Black history.
Know what Kunta Kinte did.
I had Black history in school. I mean, from the 6th grade, from the 4th grade on up, I had Black history. We celebrated it in Jersey Village, ISD.
I didn't know they brought it to my bad. I need some real Black history.
Hey, let me ask my two questions. My two questions are, I'll give them both to you at once. My number one question would be, what are your views on the government's role in housing? And when I'm talking about housing, I'm not talking about public housing. I'm talking about housing for the public. And number two, my most important one is an open question to you, sir. What is your strongest stance? What do you stand on? What's the number one thing that your campaign is promoting that we should take note of? And by the way, thank you for the great interview. I think you're a good person. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Stevenson, and I thank you because your questions are just rocking me, but I'm rocking your back. Okay, so I thank you and I love you. Housing. All right. When it comes to housing, you want to put people in homes that they can afford. All right. You want to put people in apartments that they can afford to pay the rent. You want people to be self-sufficient with jobs that are able to pay a little bit more than what they are now. Okay? And we can't do that if inflation is eating all your money up. Because there's a false sense of value added to a product or service that's stealing from you in front of you. So when it comes to housing, we, the people of this great country, we need to start raising some of these what I'm looking for, hourly wages. That's right, hourly wages. So that people can start affording something. Like I say, if we can send money out the country for people that don't give a damn about us, then we can start paying a little bit higher wages so people can survive and buy a house or get an apartment so that they can have a decent quality of life. On the second question you asked me, I think this is going to blow your mind. This is part of my platform. It's time for my nonviolent ex-offender population to be given back their 5-on-5. Their 5-on-5 is number one, their federal and state civil rights. Number two, their Second Amendment rights. Number three, the right to run for office in the state level. Number four, the right to sit on the jury. And here in Texas, number five, we've already given them back the right to vote as of 1 September 1997. But the last point, it's time to clean off these criminal histories. The NCIC, which is the National Crime Information Center database that was put together by a Secret Service employee after the Kennedy assassination, which holds all the criminal records, needs to be deleted. You got stuff on people that's 40 and 30 years old that are nonviolent. It's time to cut them loose, let them move forward, and clean up that background. That's one of my top priorities doing when I'm elected to Congress.
It's when you're elected. But let me ask you this, Mr. Avery. I think this is in the right channel. So in order for them to take care of their housing, you're going to help them raise some kind of way. You're going to help them raise the wages,
Yes.
so that these people can afford the
Yes.
homes. But here's another. Hold on 1 second, because I want to make sure I'm with them now. I'm old, so the other question that I have for is cleaning up the background of some of, I'm gonna say, my Black men, cleaning up their background. A lot of Black men have history of not taking care of their children because of that CS word, child support. So some of them are good guys, but I can't afford to pay the child support. So no, my history is bad. When you pull up me, you go, oh, okay, so you got a record. No, I don't have a record because of anything. I have a record because of child support. How can we help men and women? Because I pay child support too. So how can we help people erase all of that negativity that they have on a child support record? And they don't have a record of being a criminal, but a criminal is child support, non-child support.
Okay. Let me answer that one. Okay. I'm a paralegal, so I deal with child support. I deal with family issues. Here in Texas, when you're not paying child support, it's called the enforcement. In other words, the judge would give you some options. Child support, you can sit in jail. Okay, that's called enforcement because you have a responsibility. Okay, none of us took any pleasure making that child. All right, my job is to help you do what's right. Pay the child support so the child can get taken care of. Okay. The other question you asked was, when our Black men come out of prison, they normally will get a letter saying, hey, you have child support. Okay, and it's hard to get a job. If you only get a job making $7.25 an hour, you're trying to keep a roof over your head. You're trying to keep food on your table. You're trying to get to work, and you got child support. One of the things I would like to do is, when they're in prison, and I think Texas does it already, but at the federal level, child support needs to be stopped completely until he or she comes out of prison, finds a better employment opportunity that's making sufficient hourly wages, and then sit down with them and say, okay, you're making $18 an hour, you're working 80 hours every 2 weeks. Can you afford to pay $200 a month in child support? You know, give them a basic amount and let's see how that works. Because I've seen guys come out of prison. I've seen 2 or 3 females who have to pay child support, and it's hard. It's hard when you're walking out them doors and you have nothing but yourself to depend on. So we can tailor some legislation that will help them.
That needs to be a big help, because that hurts them, and child support, we shouldn't be made to take care of our children anyway. Let me just say that. We should be made to do that. But when we are making these kids and we had a good time and boy, it was good. And then 9 months later, here we go, and we're there for the rest of our lives. But we cannot take something that they don't have. Correct. And now you have made me into a monster because you took me to jail because I couldn't pay it, or I didn't pay it, whichever one. But I'm gonna try to say because I couldn't pay it. And now I'm out of jail. I definitely cannot pay it. I can't even go to McDonald's like number 45 put on that front about him going to McDonald's, working at McDonald's. But I can't go to McDonald's and get a job that's going to help me get back on my feet to take care of my kids.
Well, what judges do, and being a paralegal and being in the courtroom, normally when there's an enforcement, these are people that's not in jail, but normally when an enforcement is put into the court, the individual will be given a notice to show up for court. At that point, the judge, male or female, would tell him, hey, right now we have a case. He is $52,000 in arrears on child support. Okay, that's a good job. He just don't want to pay child support. So now the judge is going to deal with him and let him know, hey, you're getting ready to spend 30 days in Harris County if you don't come up with some money before 3 o'clock today. Okay. Now
I think what she's more talking about is what can we do on a federal level to assist their ability to get a job. I think a lot of them want to pay. I think a lot of them would pay.
Right.
But the problem is not being employable. There needs to be some type of legislation where they always say you paid your debt to society. Well, why won't society let the hell go?
That's what I said earlier. It's called cleaning off the 5-on-5. Remember?
Okay.
All right. Number six was cleaning off the NCIC of nonviolent offenders background. Once you clean off that background, then there's nothing holding them back. Once you restore them to their primary condition, which is like anybody else in America, you're restoring them. You're taking away the criminal background. Mm-hmm. So when they fill out an application and get a job, it's gone. Your debt is paid, and I agree with you, Mr. Stevenson. So it's time to give them the other 5 and let them move on down the road. Right. That's legislation that I intend to bring because I'm uniquely situated to understand what's really going on when you come out.
Okay. I appreciate that. I misunderstood the 505. So I'm for you.
But I forgot he said it. I forgot he did say it.
Yeah.
And then also, we can also set aside some jobs, like some of the space-based programs, manufacturing jobs, putting things together. We can set some of those newly created jobs I want to do to the side for newly released state and federal inmates, ex-offenders, I should say. So there are all kind of ways. It's just that people need to start using the brains and start coming up with better ways to assist our ex-offender community as we go into the second half of the 21st century.
All right, guys, we coming down to wrapping it up. We got about 2 minutes left. Avery, you never did tell us how we could we could do to
people go to the polls. Remember,
so you have to be in your district. How does break it down to the people that don't know and the first time viewers? How would they? For you, they got to be in your district.
They have to be in my district, District 38, which has 32 zip codes. Okay, and I'll send you a list of the zip codes today, Kat. That way you can have it. I'm on the ballot. When they walk into the voting booth, there's a little sheet of paper on the side. Oh, I don't have it, but I put it on my Facebook page, and it has my name in there. District 38, write-in candidate Avery Ayers. When they go to 38 on the ballot, they're going to see Weston P. Hunt. They're going to see Melissa McDonald, the Democrat, and then they're going to see a box that says write-in. All they got to do is click that box and type my name in, Avery space Ayers. As simple as that, and hit next. I'm on the ballot. Okay. So if they can just get to the polls, we have early voting going on from October 21st through November 1st from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So if they can just get to the polls, and I have a list of all the 25 early polling stations. I can also send you as well, Kat.
All right, that's a bet. Well, here's the thing. Don't mean to cut you off. We got to wrap it up. Got about a minute left. Want to thank Miss Linda Scott. And I want to thank Mr. Oliver, who's been my ride or die in this process. This is my 3rd show, and he's been a part of 2 of them already. Just know that when I hit the big bucks, I'm coming for y'all before I even come to family. You heard me? I'm a man of my word. I already know. God done told me I'm getting mine. It's just a matter of when. But people don't get it. It's about support. I don't care how blood look like. I don't care about my best friend. I don't care about none of that. It's the people that support. They come first. Everybody gonna eat, but they come first. That's all I'm saying. That's my concept. I can't speak for you, or you. But I know with Colin Thompson, y'all gonna eat when I eat. Y'all heard me? We gotta go, baby.
Wait, Avery, what is your phone contact? How do people reach you if they want to reach you?
Yeah, real quick.
You know, oh my goodness, hold on. Yes,
Less than a minute, Avery. Less than a minute.
Campaign. I got it. I got it. Hold on.
Huh? You ain't
should
ready? You
let's
want to
get
be district 38?
346.
Just give us the phone number.
346.
No, he don't want everybody in the United States to have his phone number.
3963.
Repeat it.
291-3963. That's my campaign line.
All right.
346-291-3963. They can also go to info@ayers, AYERS4.us.
How Russell Simmons said,
Yo, what's good?
God bless you.
God bless you. Thank y'all. Love y'all.
Yo, what's good? It's the one and only Catv, Colin, making it do. You heard me? Listen, guys. Listen. I'm gonna push myself. Oh, y'all like my shirt? I made this shirt myself. I tie-dyed it. You heard me? Listen, guys, I'm pushing myself every day. This is Catv. Go to Roku TV, type in CATV, download my app, click on it, subscribe. It's only $5.55, guys. I got movies. I'm gonna have interviews. I got some stuff coming up, guys. That's popping. You dig? I'm give y'all news that the world ain't giving me yet. You heard me? Y'all do that for Tubi and Hulu and Disney and Paramount and all them other channels anyway. You heard me? Go do it. You know, I mean, it is what it is. That's all I'm saying. I got a vision and a dream, and everybody that does it's gonna eat when I eat. You heard?